This is a Dude Studios production. And hey, I'm the dude.
Hey bartender, pass me a drink. A reason that I'm here is I need time to think.
Welcome back to Hey Bartender Podcast, the sweetest smelling podcast there is in the world. I am your host, Anthony. You can call me the dude. I'm completely cool with that. Because, you know, we're all bad with names. Hell, I was just watching a clip earlier today that William Shatner completely forgot Walter Koenig's name. And they had been working together for over 30 years. Then, you know, names just get forgotten from time to time. But like I've told you in previous episodes, I'm very prone to saying, hey, what's up, man? What's up, dude? What's up? No, I never really used any androgynous or used any nicknames for any women because I didn't really have any, and most of them could get me in trouble for like being sexist or something like that, so I usually kept that to myself, or just, hey, how you doing? But anyway, enough about that. Today is the Wednesday Quick Shot episode. It is March 10th 2021. We're gonna start off today by giving you a drink recipe. Now, this drink recipe was posted last week by Chino's Barbecue, a friend of mine. This was posted for Texas Independence Day. So this is what he did. On his Instagram page, it reads, I've combined a few of my favorite drinks and spices to make what I like to call a West Texas Spicey Ranch Water. Ingredients go as follows. You need 1.5 ounces of Texas whiskey. You need 12 ounces of spicy ranch water from Lone River, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce of agave nectar. And what you do is you take your glass, rim the glass with agave nectar and Meat Church Holy Voodoo. That's a barbecue spice. And you garnish with a lime wedge and jalapeno slice. Just dump all that stuff, fill up whatever you got with ice, and just dump all that stuff in there and enjoy. So I've mentioned Chino's Barbecue before. You might have seen that I had one. He gave me one of his stickers, and of course I gave him one of my Hey Bartender stickers in kindness. Not kindness. We did a swap, and so. Yeah, give that drink a shot. I'll have a picture of it on Instagram. And, feel free to tell me what you think about the drink. All you have to do is email me, dude@heybartenderpodcast.com, or you can even go to Chinos_barbecue BBQ, Chinos_BBQ on Instagram, and go check out some of the stuff he does. He has some really interesting things that he does with barbecue. So, because hell, it's Texas. Jeez. Just a quick reminder before we get the show started, you can follow us on Facebook, Hey Bartender Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, Hey Bartender Podcast. I also have a website, www.heybartenderpodcast.com, where you can go and check out recent episodes, a few drink recipes, and even pick up some Hey Bartender Podcast merchandise. You can pick up a Hey Bartender Podcast shirt that you've seen various guests that I've had on my show wearing on their Instagram page. You can pick up a Hey Bartender Podcast shirt for $17.50. Not a bad price if you ask me, considering the prices of all the t-shirts over at like Hot Topic. Jesus Christ. You got to buy 3 t-shirts for $25 just to get one free. But that's just me. I'm a cheapskate. So go check out www.heybartenderpodcast.com. So anyway, people, it is March 10th, and Texans and people that listen to NPR probably are enjoying, maybe, I don't know, we don't know yet because I'm recording this a couple days earlier. The Texas governor has decided that as of March 10th, the COVID restrictions, wearing masks in public, has been completely 100% lifted. All the COVID restrictions are gone. And, there's a couple things that I'm a little bit worried about. Now let's talk about the the good things first. One, a lot of us don't really enjoy wearing the mask to begin with. I mean, it's for guys like me that wear glasses on from time to time. I can put the mask on, I go into the store, and then all of a sudden, where'd everything go? And, and all those things that people put on social media of how to avoid your glasses getting foggy, that's all bullshit. Don't believe any of it. It's just going to happen. We can also delude ourselves into thinking, okay, there's a vaccine out there for this virus, and there's been a lot of Texans who have been taking this. Some people who have actually cut in line for the second time to get a double dose. So, a lot of people are getting inoculated. I haven't yet because I don't have an entire weekend to kill, and I work all day. But I'm hoping that the job that I work at arranges something so that a doctor will come onto my work site and give us inoculations or the vaccine, or maybe the next time I go visit the doctor's office, he just look at me and say, "Have you gotten your vaccine yet?" And I'll tell him, "Why, no, I haven't." And he'll say, "Let's get you that vaccine." He'll pop me in the arm. I'm no stranger to shots. I used to get allergy shots all the time. I know how shots can scare a lot of people, but shots don't worry me. Another thing we can be glad about, all the trash that's getting left all over the place. People exit these businesses that opt to get one of the disposable masks, and as soon as they get to their car, it gets thrown on the ground. It doesn't get put in the trash can. It doesn't get put in their little trash cubby in their car. It gets thrown on the fucking ground. And so, let's keep the world a little bit tidy here. We're, trying to be safe, but you're also throwing your crap all over the place. You got to knock that shit off. And plus, of course, we can all show our beautiful faces all over again. Re-meet the people. Show them how beautiful this smile we have. I mean, there's, I'm not bragging or nothing like that, but there's been a couple times where I've taken off my mask and all of a sudden, the girl I'm talking to, so, wow, you're cute. And then I get shy and then I can't say another word because I don't know what to do after that. See, I'm not like Raj from The Big Bang Theory where I need alcohol in order to speak to a woman. In fact, I think it would make it a lot worse. I wouldn't be able to speak to him at all, or most definitely say something insanely stupid. But girls, one or two girls have said, "Wow, you're really cute," and I'm saying, "Thanks." But we can start showing our faces again, start recognizing people, and stop that stupid joke that where I go into a convenience store and the person behind the counter at the convenience store isn't wearing a mask, but he is behind plastic. And I walk up to the counter and I want to buy my Coca-Cola or whatever it is I came in there for. And then he just stares at me wide-eyed and I'm like, "What?" And he says, "Are you here to rob the place?" And I'm like, "Dude, do you not know what's going on around here? We're in the middle of a pandemic and your door says I have to wear a mask when I'm inside this store. Do you make that joke with everybody, you schmuck?" But I digress. I mean, I always wore a mask, whether I, believed that COVID-19 was a thing or not, just because, you can't be too careful. Like I told you a few episodes ago, through less than 6 degrees of separation, back when I was in grade school, I was friends with a guy who had a sister, and she passed away of COVID-19 just recently. And so that's pretty close. That's the first person that's within 2 moves for me that has passed away of COVID-19 that I know of. So, yeah. I'll wear a mask. Plus, in order to avoid a hassle, because, like if all I want to do is go into a store, pick up something simple, and run out. In order to avoid a hassle, I'm going to wear the mask because inside that store or inside that restaurant is something that I want. And so in order to make my life easier, just to be able to just walk in, walk out without anybody talking to me, I'll wear the damn mask. That's just the way it is. So, I'm not going to sit there and say, but I'm wearing glasses. I can't see without glasses. And they're fogging up every time the mask comes on. I don't dangle it underneath my nose. I don't put it underneath my chin because what is the fucking point? But that's not what I'm getting at. We here in Texas will now have the freedom to go without the mask. Cool. However, I do see some bad things on the horizon. Now, I've already talked to a handful of business owners and restaurant owners, and they said that the customers, pretty much the customers have always been allowed to go into a restaurant and be able to sit down at the table and not wear a mask because, it's really tough to eat a steak through a mask. Well, maybe if you're eating soup, but still, it's tough to eat real food through a mask, so you got to take the mask off. So it's pretty much been left up to the restaurant owners whether or not they're going to wear the masks still or not. I mean, I've run into a handful of corporate corporate businesses, not necessarily restaurants, but corporate businesses that followed the rules that went company wide. Now, best example, there was a electronics store I worked for back in the 90s. They didn't allow smoking anywhere on their campus. If you were on your 15-minute break, you had to drive off the company property. If you were on your lunch break, actually the 15-minute breaks, they didn't even want you leaving the building. But your lunch break, you had to drive completely off the premises and have your cigarette. And that wasn't at the time an Oregon law, but it was a California law. And to be able to stand back and say, okay, there is no smoking on the premises. The Oregon laws have changed since then. But them being a corporation, they just decided, well, if California doesn't allow it, we're not going to allow it anywhere in our company. Now, that's where corporate restaurants may come into this. They might say, well, sure, Texas is 100% no mask wearing, but the rest of the country still has to wear a mask. So yeah, still wear your masks while you're serving, bartending, whatever, if you're talking with a customer. Now, the customers, I have a feeling that that's going to be, there's going to be a lot of Karens out there when it comes to that sort of thing. Karens and fucking Brian's, or whatever the Karen equivalent is, male, Karen male equivalent. That's what I'm getting at. And people are going to be sitting there, and then they'll look up at you and say, hi, I'm your server. You're wearing your mask still. Hi, I'm your server, and what can I start you off with for a drink? And the person will look at it and say, hey, they just decided we don't have to wear masks anymore. What are you wearing a mask for? Well, the company wants us to keep wearing masks while we're around customers, and then the Karens or the husbands of the Karens will start making fun of you, or start in saying, what, do you think that I'm going to give you COVID or whatever? And say, I've been inoculated, or I don't have any symptoms. What do you need to wear the mask for? Just because people don't trust people. That's bottom line. I see that argument coming up pretty soon, and odds are there'll be videos of a TikTok, all over TikTok of it. Ugh. I'm still getting sick of that whole, you're about to get into a fight, and the first thing you do is grab your phone and videotape it. Jeez. And another problem that I, am a little cautious of is, yes, the vaccines are out there. And according to the governor, there's plenty of drugs out there therapeutic drugs that'll help take care of the symptoms if you have it. But not everybody can get to it. Like I said, I haven't gotten my shot yet because I just haven't had time to wait in line in my car, and to to get that shot. Now, I've heard that in the next coming week or something like that, CVS is going to offer their COVID vaccine, but you got to make an appointment for it. And, therapeutic drugs, if they're talking about Advil and Tylenol, that will help deter the symptoms. Okay, sure, that might work. But if they're expecting doctors to give them something like penicillin or, Vicodin or, I don't know, whatever, the good stuff. A lot of us restaurant workers do not have medical insurance, and we can't go get the good stuff. So we're stuck with Advil and Tylenol and maybe Excedrin. But there's also another problem that I don't know too much about. I don't know if it would actually happen or not, but do COVID benefits go away? Now, a lot of us workers, if we catch COVID, we get a COVID bonus or something like that, paid time off. If we have, if we end up contracting COVID, do we get some companies, some restaurants out there will pay you to stay home and get well, so you don't give it to the rest of the restaurant, give it to your customers. It just you are on quarantine and you need to get paid. Some restaurants are very, I'd say, considerate about that, but if the governor of Texas opens it up where everybody can't wear a mask or doesn't have to wear a mask anymore, is that benefit going to go away? It's a weird conundrum. There's a lot of paranoia in my head that's going on about this right now, and it's I'm a little cautious, and I'll have a mask on me wherever I go, but because it is the restaurant's decision overall whether or not they will, abide by Texas governor, or whether they sit back and say, nah, you still have to wear a mask. So, but in any case, another good thing that could come out of this is jobs will come back. Regular hours will come back, and full restaurants. So you can get back to, waiting on 8 to 20 tables in one night. And things will get back to normal, but we're all of a sudden, I picture everybody's going to just flock to their favorite restaurant that they haven't eaten in probably close to a year, or definitely a year. And then, what if one out of all of those 150 people or whatever the capacity of a restaurant is, has it, and then it gets spread around? That can be a problem. I mean, I heard a story a while back where I think this was in the beginning of COVID, where everybody in a church choir, they decided to forego the whole quarantine thing and just say, hey, we're all fine. Let's go to the church and practice. And so they went to their church and practice, and they had this big thing at the end, the tradition at the end of every rehearsal. Everybody hugs each other and they go home. And then all of a sudden, a third of those people had COVID. It was weird, because to spread any kind of virus, COVID, the flu, it only takes one, and then it gets spread all over the place. And to see a whole bunch of people that work in a restaurant that are barely scraping by as it is, that's a scary thought. I mean, money-wise, lifestyle-wise, and what if somebody that you work with in your restaurant also has other things going on in their body that they're allowed to work with, but it exasperates that other stuff, and then COVID kind of takes over, because their body's really working hard getting rid of this other thing that's going on in their body, but then it's got to deal with COVID too. And you can't really bring in reinforcements, I don't think. I don't know. My medical knowledge only extends to TV shows like House and Scrubs. But Texas all of a sudden jumping up and saying, we are done with masks. This, open up the businesses 100%, start, get the football games going and, start partying out in the backyards. We're all good. And, not everybody has had the inoculation yet. Texas jumping up and saying that I'm sitting here wondering which state's next, and then how many states follow after that. Now, knowing that not a lot of the United States follows what Texas does, because you do something like save the spotted owls, or better example is California just decided no smoking whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, all the other states started following within 2-3 years. But this might happen a lot quicker, where if other states see that Texas is doing it, I wonder if they're going to stand back and say, okay, let's see how they do. And then after however amount of time after Texas does it, are they going to follow suit? And I just want you guys out there that are busting your ass, getting slinging those drinks, getting those orders, making that food, mopping the floors. I want all you guys to be safe, and I want you guys to stay the badasses that you guys all are. Because as of right now, the world still needs bartenders. The world still needs servers. Bartenders. The world still needs cooks. And as much as in the service industry, we are looked down on when it comes to the workforce. I mean, of course, the people all the way up at top of Wall Street or something like that, they're like, this is a real job. Well, and then, they look down their noses at people that are working behind a bar. And, as that's not right. People do look down on people in the service industry, but we are the hardest working people compared to somebody in Wall Street. And, because those people in Wall Street, they, sure, they have to answer the phone all day long or something like that. But if they spill their coffee, who's going to clean it up? You call janitorial service. If they're all of a sudden decide that they're hungry, odds are they didn't bring lunch with them, so they're going to go down to the local restaurant and have a 2-martini lunch. So, anyway. Well, I'm sorry to get political on you guys, but I want you guys to stay informed of what's going on as much as I know. I didn't give you all the information. I didn't give you all the details, but, I just want you guys to look out for yourselves, because we live in a tough enough world as it is. And, I don't want things to get worse. And, I'm not telling you guys to keep wearing your masks. I'm not telling you guys to throw your masks off and scream, Texas does it. Just abide by the rules of whether the restaurant that you're at. You may receive a little bit of flack from the customers that come in. And you know what? Deal with it in your own special way. And because I know you guys are a bunch of you are bigger smartasses than I ever was or am. And you probably come up with something really, really cool to tell them without saying fuck off. Anyway, people, that's it for the Quick Shot episode Wednesday. So anyway, thank you all for listening. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to Hey Bartender Podcast. Leave me a review on iTunes or Spotify. That would make my day. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Both of those are Hey Bartender Podcast. Email me if you want to feature your music on the show, or you want to be a guest on the show. My email is dude@heybartenderpodcast.com. I'd love to hear from any of you guys. If you have drink recipes or you just want to share a quick story but don't necessarily want to be on the air, I'll read it on the air for you. That's totally cool with me. Remember, Hey Bartender podcast, we do episodes every Wednesday. That's the quick shot episode. And every Saturday, that Saturday is the big show where I usually like to bring on guests if they're available, and I bring on independent music artists just that are just really cool. This weekend, I'll be featuring musical guest Silver Synthetics. So remember to drop in on the next episode of Hey Bartender Podcast and check that out. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. And I wish you all lots of love, lots of sex, lots of happiness. And don't take any shit from anyone. Good night.
What do you mean it's last call? I just got here.